Adam Bierman, breathing with Bierman. Notice how I'm calm and tranquil. My Spaniel's coming. Because I am just so very busy. I guess that's the best way to not be bizarre and everything. So I'm
Stay busy.
yeah. So I'm going to try to be like NPR and ask questions and talk in a voice like this. But anyway, we have Joey. What's Joey? Joey has two different names. Joey.
Joey was it Joey? No, it's not Suarez.
Joey
Rivera.
Whatever. Anyway, Dulce Vidi Media. He brought with us Ricardo Lorenzo and Kevin. Who I didn't even know was coming, but Kevin.
Oh, Kevin. Yes.
Yes. Are you Irish with red hair?
No, actually, I'm not. I get that a lot.
Oh.
I'm English, though.
English.
So, yes. That's why I'm speaking.
They speak English. That's right. I've had people ask me that, but Americans are pretty slow about those things. Anyway, you're making a film in production called Unlikely Story.
Yes.
And I'll let you describe it. It seems pretty profound and compelling.
All right. I mean, is it?
That was very NPR. I'm doing the NPR thing. I told you that.
You should get a podcast and go against what's her name?
I'll go.
Terry Gross.
Terry Gross. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So tell me.
I mean, she's pretty awesome, though.
She is good. She gets people to talk. She does get people to talk. Yeah, even though she comes off like you're a nice aunt or something. But
she really does. I don't know how she does it, though. I guess she's been doing it for so long.
And the guard, it's body language, the voice, the guard comes down and everything.
Yes,
I have other tricks, but I won't tell you, of course.
Maybe I'll figure it out. I don't know. Well, okay. So yeah, Unlikely Story is a film it's a short film. It's about a young woman. She's a working woman. She's like a video editor. She works in news. She's suffering from depression, and she's known for her past of having like multiple suicide attempts. And so what happens is, she's gone to the point where her cousin has passed away, and so she feels guilty ending her own life because of what it'll put her family through.
Right, and they've already gone through the death of a cousin and everything.
And
so she has even more stress in her life now.
Exactly. So then what happens is she meets a guy on the internet who poses as a cannibal. And they meet up and they kind of make this pact that he will kill and consume her. Mm-hmm. And so they both get what they want. So he's going to get to eat her and she's going to get to die. But as she
die in this crazy way, though, how's that's going to help her family? Very interesting. But anyway,
yeah, I mean, it's like for her, it feels more like she feels like it's less guilty if it's a murder than a suicide.
I see.
Because it's not in her own hands;
right,
it's at the hands of somebody else.
But also, it's really horrific and bizarre.
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But but what happens is, the deal is that, in order for him to do this act, he has to get to know her. So this film is them
tenderize her too, but anyway. No, Terry Gross wouldn't say that. I'm sorry.
Yes, there's tons of jokes like that in the movie.
So it's like black humor, black comedy.
It's a dark comedy.
A dark comedy. Okay.
So
I can dig it. Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't seem so deep or dank to me, and I go, where does this come from? It's like it's like a French film or a Bergman film or something.
No. I mean,
Bergman doesn't have like cannibalism, but it seems like really depressing.
It's like. When you're a person that's like suffers from like these kinds of things, like I struggle with depression, and like you get into these like really dark things.
Oh, you struggle.
Yeah.
Oh, so you kind of okay. So you're using
there's a lot of like my kind of word, like my view on life and my ideas of where depression has put me now today. Now that I'm 30 years old, and the ideas that I've had when I was younger and where I am now and where the world is today, and a lot of that is shown through the character.
Right.
And I'm not really trying to say, hey, this is me in the movie, but it's kind of a way that like it's my kind of poem too, the way that I feel the world.
So you kind of compartmentalize what you've gone through, and I guess other people with depression can kind of understand it.
Yeah, at least
how people react.
So.
Is it like organic? Is it like organic, or is it environmental, or both? Your depression.
It's.
Are you depressed right now? You're very serious looking.
Am I depressed right now?
No. He hasn't said anything. Anyway, but we have to get to him. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, well, I'm letting him tell his story.
It's both.
You're British. You're so polite. You're so polite. You're so reserved. Anyway, yeah.
It's both. Like I guess like my doctor has treated it as like kind of generalized, but it's been something that I've been dealing with since I was a kid.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, and it's weird because, it was something I've been dealing with as a kid, but it's something that I didn't know until I was older.
You just dealt with it.
Yeah, because I've been told, like, growing up, I've been, like, I was a little kid, and my parents would be like, oh, or I would tell my parents, like, I'm a kid, and I don't feel right. Like, days, like, I don't feel like, I would go out and do things, but I was feeling like I was just playing the part of being a kid. But I would also feel like, I'm more comfortable in my room hiding in darkness and just sleeping in my bed.
That's pretty articulate, but they probably thought he's just a kid.
Exactly.
Like, no one thinks these profound, awful things are happening.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, you're just, or like, whenever, they're just like, oh, you're being lazy, like, go out and do things. Right. And so, like, it would be like that, and then it would get to the point where it's like, Mom, Dad, I still feel this way, and I'm a teenager. And they're like, oh, you're just a teenager, you're just dealing with teenagers.
They never really stopped and really kind of, hey, this has been going on for a while, maybe there's something more to this. They never did.
Yeah, and then even when
that probably happens a lot, though, to most people.
I think so.
Right.
I mean, and then
like some of it was like cultural. You think?
What do you mean cultural? Oh,
like for Dominican, that's part of the thing, right?
The thing that scares me is I don't think it was cultural. I think it was like kind of their way of not thinking about it, because depression is pretty prevalent in my family. I mean, my cousin ended her life when I was like...
So, they're finding links, how it runs in family and everything.
Yeah.
So maybe they weren't in denial.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. I think they were in denial.
They're not Egyptian. I'm sorry. Indian. I'm sorry. See? I'm not being... I got to get back. Okay, go back. So you met the demon and you're doing something with it.
Yeah.
In your film.
Yeah. So then I guess, this idea is now these two characters are getting to know each other, but as they get to know each other, she's learning about what his true intentions are, and that's basically what you're going to learn when you see the movie. Wow.
So you're taking this in a way, making it interesting. At the same time, people can learn about depression and feelings and the dynamic of dealing with depression and all that stuff. And then for the drama, you put these two, should I say, opaque, but at the same time, in-your-face characters going at it. Who knows what can happen?
Yeah, exactly. And the funny thing is, it started off as a feature film. It was like 100 pages or so. And a lot of people that I was showing the script to that were like kind of... I had a co-writer with this movie. Mm-hmm. So my co-writer and I would just go and... I mean, most of the stuff I would write, and I would send it to him, and he would kind of give me ideas, and then I'd throw ideas back at him, and we just kind of like keep tossing stuff back and forth. I didn't bring him because he's kind of like, he doesn't like the lights, camera, action type of thing.
Well, I'd like to say that this would change his life and everything, and we're in the netherworld of cable access. But hey,
I mean, even that just
hey, these things last forever, and hopefully a lot of people. And if you don't get depressed and you promote this,
exactly.
So get lively. But what is Kevin from England? Kevin, what's your last name? Smallwood or?
Smallwood?
No,
I'm trying. Bigwood, actually.
Bigwood.
No, just kidding. It's
Twing.
You like that? It's Kevin Lawton.
Like Charles Lawton, the actor.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you know who he is?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, I'm not talking to you anymore because you're not my intellectual on my intellectual level. But anyway, he's a famous actor in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. Yes. Married to Ella Lanchester, who was in Bride. Okay, anyway. So anyways, how do you fit into this, Mr. Lawton?
So I'm a producer on the project. So Ricky and I go way back, like almost 12 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least
12
that's
years
what
we've been
Facebook
friends.
says.
Yeah. So I kind of do, I guess, the logistics behind the films and that he does, and I've worked with him on his other short films as well. Mm-hmm. And I kind of do coordination and location finding, anything that needs to be done.
And this is more like your second. You have day jobs. I'm taking it.
Yeah.
So what's the budget like, and how do you coordinate? I mean, how do you get people and everything, and the film schedule and everything?
I did an Indiegogo. I did a fundraising campaign. I'm currently doing a fundraising campaign, but because our Indiegogo is only last up to 60 days, I don't know why, but they only give you 60 days. I'm running things through like a PayPal account, and so I have a website that we're doing, and we.
You could name the website. Promote.
I mean, the link is it's like Ricky Lorenzo, rickylorenzo.wordpress.com, and it has all the information there for what you can do and what money, how much you contribute and what you can get.
Right.
your contribution.
You have to give some kind of benefit, right? To
Yeah,
try to get people to
exactly.
give.
Yeah,
Exactly.
We have,
And
like, a
so-
lot of cool packages too.
Yeah, and I think a lot of, I was doing, I had been making films for a while, and then I kind of stopped to focus on music, and now I'm back into it. So like, I stopped this, and now it's kind of, and I came back to it. So I can't really, I can't go out there and kind of pitch things to people,
Right.
studios or anything like that, because who the hell are you?
Right.
So a lot of the things is, if you're an up-and-coming filmmaker, the best thing to do is crowdfunding. And, kind of just...
How do you find your audience, though? You go to, people go to like-minded films or websites?
Well, I think the start of it is, I'm kind of starting from the bottom again, where you kind of like, you have your friends and your family kind of contribute.
Right, to start the ball rolling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then what happens is, once the film gets done and I start submitting it to festivals, you kind of learn about your audience that way.
Right.
Yeah, and I feel like it's interesting because it's going to be a little harder since I'm not doing like a genre film. And I feel like with genre films, it's like really easy to be like, I made this horror movie.
Yeah, Terrified. I mean, they're fanatics all over the Terrified. 2 million hits.
Exactly.
I mean, it shows how, again, the film, everything's changing. You still have major pictures, but this is an underground hit, this Terrifier.
Oh, yeah.
And there's people writing odes to him, poetry, the whole thing.
It's crazy.
Right.
I saw it too, and I was like, this movie is crazy. This is nuts. Because
I could see it being actually a big budget, theatrical release. Even though that the industry is changing. But when you do, I'm just curious though. So do you plan where you're going to film and get the actors together and the schedule?
Yeah, so we have our actors together already. Right now we're in the fundraising phase. So we
I
can make
see.
this thing
So
happen,
that's why it's in production.
Yeah,
but
so
you have the
right
script,
now-
right?
Yeah,
so
the
right
script
now-
is when we
yeah.
start shooting in June.
Mm-hmm.
He and I get together. We do like scheduling. Him and I go through the scheduling. We go through locations, and he's kind of the guy that goes and contacts these people, locations and things like that.
So you're trying to be as professional as you can, basically, on no budget or shoot a budget, but to show people you're
try to put
serious.
it together however we can and make it happen.
Right.
Yeah, and I think for
an improv,
this,
I guess, along
for
the
this
way.
film. So this is like what, the fourth one?
This is like the fourth one that we did.
Yeah.
Because I'm starting to imagine this. You see her depressed in one room, you see the cannibal in another, and then where do they meet? And what happens? What locations are you going to have for that? Are you going to try to?
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's the unique or the interesting thing about this is kind of like, think about it like, how would you meet a person? If you're meeting someone for the first time, where would you go?
Well, it's online. I thought they might be meeting online.
They're meeting online.
Oh, but when they first
meet in person,
right.
it's kind of like all
And-
these different locations. They're just locations basically where you would normally, do things with friends, or, for instance, like they go to a hardware store together and they're having a conversation about, just a normal conversation about getting to know each other, but while they're picking out the weapons they're going to use.
Interesting.
For the murder.
Yeah, and like they're also...
It's really bent, though. Some people would love that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the first time I read it, I was like, oh wow, like this is like deep, and then it has like this interesting, really
Bent
interesting
side to it.
twist at the end as well. That's kind of I wasn't expecting it.
It reminds me of the stuff you see on HBO, and stuff like that. I saw Barry. Bill, he's a hitman.
Yeah,
He finds his acting thing.
Like that was an excellent. That was such a great.
The contrast of one's life and everything, and what they're doing.
That's usually what I'm into. Like I really like the idea of just like characters and putting characters in very unique situations. Like for instance, Barry. Where you take the hitman and you turn him into an actor. Because what better job is there for somebody to get so involved in this opportunity to get so emotional?
Right.
It's almost like therapy for him.
It is for everyone, and then he takes orders too, and he can be a ferocious killer. At the same time, he's taking from Henry Winkler, and everything. He's taking orders, and he's that blank look. He was just trying to figure things out, and and he has a girlfriend.
It's interesting because it's like the complete opposite of like someone like Tony Soprano, who does not take orders from anybody.
Oh yeah, exactly.
They're both similar because Tony Soprano is actually in the mob and in therapy.
Right.
And he's getting this. He's inside of this world where he's not supposed to.
Right. He has to be the alpha male. He kept on saying. Also, Tony Soprano, he did bad things, but he did show sympathy, empathy. You could empathize with him.
Yeah.
He was a real person. But then he would do something pretty wacky, though.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the thing that I kind of like is taking these ideas because. A lot of movies they show like one-dimensional. People are so one-dimensional. It's like you're this guy. They're tropes. But I like the idea of like if you're gonna be an evil person, you're not necessarily an evil person.
Yeah.
You also have good
You
qualities.
compartmentalize, yeah, and then inner psychosis. And sometimes your environment dictates how you act, and there's inner psychosis or inner battle going on. And
Yeah,
everything.
and the funny thing is, my co-writer Alex and I right now are working on a feature that's supposed to do another thing just like that. And like right now, we're sort of like we're not writing anything. Everything is just notes.
Right.
We just pile on notes before we get to a script.
Brainstorm, right.
And so by that point, right now it's a heavy movie. It's going to be hard to pull off, but
if it can be written well, the acting. I mean, like the early Star Treks, we only have a minute, like 30 seconds, so I have to hurry up. Early Star Treks, the props, but again, the emotions were real. The writing was great. The acting was great. Anything you can do it in a room.
Yeah.
If you have really good writing, acting, and everything else,
Exactly.
it works. And the camera, maybe an angle. So in the final minute, give your bona fides, give you what you want to promote, say your names.
So I'm Ricardo Lorenzo. I'm the writer, director, and producer, and this is
Kevin Lawton, producer. We're doing An Unlikely Story, which is a film. So make sure you check it out. You can find it on Instagram, Unlikely Story Film. Also look on Facebook, Unlikely Story Film as well, by Ricardo Lorenzo. So help us out. Go on there, check it out. If you like the story and you like the message that we're trying to convey as well with the story, please donate to us.
And what do they get? Can they get a part in the film? Can they do what?
Yeah, so you can get, depending on your level, so you can get a movie poster. We have a movie poster designed by
Shaky Kane, who is a comic book artist from England, and he's done tons of stuff.
Oh, so
for
he's an artist.
Image Comics.
Right.
Yeah, and the poster is like
Fantagraphic
very cool
books.
looking. Yeah. So also we have the ability to get the score, which is done by.
The score is done by Zach Schwartz, is in a band called Spirit of the Beehive. They're like an indie rock band from Philadelphia. They're not, I wouldn't say indie rock. They're kind of like noisy and shoegazy kind of band. And like he's gonna bring his this element to the movie that's kind of like it's gritty, but there's a softness to
It fits the film.
Yeah.
Well, that's been great. I hope it works out. Local Jersey filmmaker, hopefully doing well. And if you feel bad, just take your finger. Cheap electrical shock therapy. You wet your finger, stick it in a socket. It works. That's not Terry Carr either. Anyway, this has been another amazing Breezing with Bierman. Thank you, Kevin, Ricardo, Joey Biscotti, or Joey D'Amici. What Joey wants to call himself? Dolce Vita Media. And we'll be back next month. Thanks a lot.